Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
8656.
8675309. Nick, I'm kidding. Don't really send him that. It's Jenny's phone number.
Let's talk Devils and Islanders. Let's talk Penguins and Rangers. But let's not talk about Flyers, because they're a bunch of fucks, which no one can deny.
Don't try it till you've had it. This is episode 89 of the Friends and Rivals podcast. I am one of your hosts, Tom Harkness. Joining me each week are...
Steve.
Where's
Steve?
Steven?
Sage Christ.
That's where you come in, Steve.
Jesus, Steve.
Boy. Well, I'm Bill Fougere.
Nick Lurida.
Well, our second chair, our marketing department, is out for the evening due to Wi-Fi issues. So we hope to get you back next week, Steve. But you will, don't worry, you will not miss the Devils recap. You will drop it in post show, as we can do in this wonderful age of technology. So don't worry about that. And we are going to start off with shitty call of the week.
21 San Jose, both guys, 5 each for fighting.
I have to share my sound and my screen. This one comes from the Blackhawks Icelander game last week. Nick, there was what, Monday?
Nick's nodding his head.
Yeah.
Tuesday? Monday or Tuesday of last week? Which one was it? Shit.
Tuesday.
It was
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Oh shit.
Look at you. You got the same page I got.
Okay. Well, I always have them open. All right. Well, here we go. And this is going to be good because I found it on YouTube. I didn't. The one you sent me on Twitter didn't have any audio, so I had to go on YouTube and find it. And I've actually found the Blackhawks commentary.
Oh.
So I'm going to be. I haven't heard it yet. I'm very interested to see what they say about Casey Cizikas.
Casey feeds Cizikas, the fourth line center. Stalock, the save and the rebound to Parisi, but Stalock got run over and he is motionless right now with the net dislodged as well. Scary sight. Hard collision taken by Alex Stalock, the goalie for the Blackhawks.
So this is when Cizikas got the game misconduct for literally almost decapitating the Blackhawks goaltender Stalock. And we're going to show it on the replay and listen to the commentators.
Cizikas to the box. I saw the hand come up really quickly when that collision happened, and Cizikas is heading over to the box right now, so it'll be interesting to see what the call is.
You know, Cizikas, it looks like he lowers the shoulder.
What?
And into Stalock, didn't avoid or make a motion to avoid.
Wait, did he say he lowered the shoulder?
Lower the shoulder.
Well, first off, Stalock is not in the blue paint. He is to the left of the goal, kind of just on top of the outside of the blue paint. And Cizikas, I mean, he would have skated around the net. The only thing that I can see on this is that he didn't make an attempt to get out of the way.
No attempt to really move it away, but it looked like the couple angles doesn't look, you can't see where he's looking, but it looks like he followed his shot on his backhand and didn't think to kind of, make the move to get out of the way, because he left himself no time to move. And with Stalock clearly outside of the crease completely, that was pretty much he couldn't do anything about it. But lowering the shoulder, that didn't happen. He definitely just ran into him. It seemed a bit incidental, but clearly the refs didn't think that, and you got the 5 minutes and misconduct.
Well, listen, I don't think Stalock actually had Cizikas shot the puck into him, and I think he was going in there looking for a rebound or trying to make it the direct off of his foot, because I don't think Stalock had control over the puck. And if he did, maybe it was stuck in his pads, but Cizikas didn't know that. I don't know.
Yeah.
A game misconduct for this and a 5-minute major.
Yeah, this is very early in the game. It's like the second or third shift in the game.
It's be able to skate somewhere. I mean, what he's going to skate around the net. I know he didn't make any attempt to avoid him. A lot more damning when you see a play slow down like this. Like he's moving so fast, and this is like such a bang bang thing. Like it's
Exactly.
when you look at something on replay, it looks like there's certainly no intent there. But then the Blackhawks announcer will look at the replay in slow motion and say, "Oh, look how he lowered his shoulder. Come on,
Yeah,
that was so fast. Give me a break."
but look, I know. Listen, I understand. We've all played the game. I understand that he's wearing a lot of pads, Casey Cizikas and the goaltender. But at this point, the lowering of the shoulder is Cizikas actually bringing up his arm so he kind of doesn't get hurt. Cizikas doesn't get hurt. So, I mean, any human being would have done what Cizikas did at that point. As much as I fucking hate the Islanders, I don't think this warranted a 5-minute major and a game misconduct for Cizikas.
No.
Listen, it was goaltender interference, 1,000%, but it did not warrant a 5-minute major. No way.
Yeah. It's a 2-minute. To me, it's a 2-minute minor with the goalie so far out of the crease. I don't see how you can do anything about that. But obviously, he was fined $5,000, the minimum for that. I guess for the is it the minimum 5,000 for
what's his salary this year? What's his salary this year?
He's like 2, somewhere around that.
Yeah, but you're making $2 million. That's like, I don't know. That's like us getting fined at our jobs for like $10 because
it's not really a lot.
We bump somebody out of line for the fucking copier.
Yeah.
Does anybody make copies anymore? Did I use a bad analogy there?
Dude, can I do that at the lunch line? Because I'll take the fine.
No, it's gonna cost you $6 extra at the sandwich shop for bumping people out of line, Bill.
I'll throw an old lady off of it. I don't care. $6. That's a bargain. That is a bargain for me.
Like the fines are a joke. I don't think Cizikas got what was warranted, and this to me was a shitty call.
Yeah, agreed. We're unanimous.
So I happened to be sitting and watching TV prior to dinner, and I had off today. I had off on Friday. Nice 4-day weekend. I had PTO times I had to take, so I just took it.
Started using it.
So I had a nice lunch with my wife today, and then I came home and I was kind of sitting and just vegging out a little bit. And I turned on the TV, and there's a lot of actors that I like, but there's one particular movie that not just this one actor made, but a multitude of actors, really good comedy actors, made this movie that was just god awful. It was good. Have you ever seen the movie Nothing But Trouble?
Yeah. Isn't that
it's a great horrible movie.
Dan Aykroyd and
Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, John King, Demi Moore,
and the what's the guy? The Humpty Dumpty guy.
The Humpty Dance. Yeah, the Humpty Dance is in it. But man, I watched this movie again, and it was just as bad as I remember. But I laughed so many times. It was awful. Bill, have you ever seen this movie? Does this qualify as a Bill movie to watch?
I have not heard of it. I'll have to look for it on some stream. Where did you see it? Maybe I'll try to.
It was on HBO.
HBO. Okay.
It was on regular.
Do you believe that
HBO.
I have your HBO account? Oh, I hope HBO is not listening.
Well, it's not like we said. It's not like we said super.
We can say super all day right now. We don't have.
Yeah, all day.
We don't have Daddy here telling us not to say.
Oh God, he's gonna be so pissed.
I'm gonna make a song. Can I do a song right now?
Yes. Shuffle.
Well, actually, can I do this shuffle?
It was better. It was better than the other song you sent this week. But lucky for you, Bill, I have queued up here, and you, my friend,
the entire movie?
No, not the entire movie.
Tight 45.
Right, tight 45. Just the preview of the movie. Here we go.
Goody.
Dan Aykroyd wrote and directs the refreshingly strange comedy Nothing But Trouble. This hard-to-describe spoof of small-town justice also stars the likes of Chevy Chase, John Candy, and Demi Moore. If you're looking for laughs tonight, this is the one.
Give me the keys, Mike.
Chevy Chase,
Hey, you just passed the Garden State Parkway South.
Don't worry, I'll get you there.
Demi Moore,
Oh, no, cop.
Driver, step outside the car, please.
John Candy,
Read 'em. Yeah, that's nice, thanks. The lower back, please. I got an itch right up in there. It's good, thank you.
Not today, sir.
This may be Valkenvania, but it is still America. Wouldn't mind, would you just write a ticket here, or we could settle it some other way, perhaps?
That's not the way things work around here.
What is this place?
Revolving District Court for the Village and Shire of Vulcanvania is now in order. The Honorable Reeve Alvin Vulcanizer presides.
Dan Aykroyd,
Put out that dog rocket!
Nothing But Trouble.
So sorry.
Hey, you know, you and I ought to spend a little more time together.
I'd like that.
Would you?
Welcome to the last resort.
You look pretty this evening, sister. Doing something different with your hair?
Where something's always cooking.
How about a nice Hawaiian punch? You're some good friends. Okay, let's eat.
Where someone's always shaking. And anything's better than house policy.
What's house policy? Whatever man touches her's the one she keeps. What?
All they wanted
Oh, no, wait a minute. I just went through a damn stoplight.
was a little getaway.
I think the two of you'd make a perfect couple.
You make this the bride? No, not in front of all these people, Your Honor. Now.
All they got was nothing but trouble.
Wow. Now that John Candy's a handsome woman.
I agree. I agree
That was
wholeheartedly.
good. It's been a long time since I watched that movie, but that's a classic, man.
That really was. And his nose looks like a penis.
Yeah.
If you look really closely at Dan Aykroyd's nose in the movie, looks like the tip of a penis. Oh, I know you'll be looking very closely, Bill.
Very interested.
Just the tip. Yep.
Just the tip. But that was probably, man, that it was written and directed by Dan Aykroyd. That was probably the first time he ever did that. But what was the worst movie you've ever saw that was like you love it because it was so awful?
Oh, Kids in the Hall, Brain Candy.
Kids in the
Love,
Hall.
I
Oh,
love
man.
that movie.
Wow.
It is spectacularly bad. And I laughed my ass off through the whole thing.
I don't know. The Evil Dead movies are pretty bad. Evil Dead 2 is pretty terrible, but it's an amazing movie.
Evil what?
Evil Dead?
Don't know
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I've never.
You know Evil Dead?
No,
You know Army of Darkness?
I've heard of Army of Darkness.
It's the same series. So, Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness.
Are those like based on video games or something? It sounds
No,
like a
it's
movie
a-
that would be based on a video.
Sam Raimi directed them. It's his like, it's his entry into like how he got into like doing the Spider-Man movies. Him doing Army of Darkness and the Evil Dead movies. And I think he did all of them. I could be wrong, but
The more he explains, the more I haven't heard of any of it. I don't know who this person is. Sam.
You don't know who Sam
I think
Raimi is?
I think I've heard the name Sam Raimi. I would never be able to pick him out of a lineup or say one thing that
It's
he's
like you should fucking know
besides
his
Evil Dead
name,
movie
Bill.
now. I think I've heard the name. I have heard the name.
Sam Raimi is a director. He did Evil Dead 1, 2. Army of Darkness is the one that everybody knows, usually. And then he ended up getting himself into Spider-Man, the one with Tobey Maguire. And he did Spider-Man 1 and 2 and 3. He was the director to all three of those.
Okay. I think unfortunately I did see those. I didn't realize
Spider-Man?
he was a director.
He even directed the new Doctor Strange, the last one. He came back in. Anyway,
Yeah, I am not connected to the Marvel universe too much.
I'm just saying it's more recent thing you did.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Evil Dead movies are really terrible, but they're like funny comedy. If you ever watch Army of Darkness, you get a lot of references from other movies and things. Be like, oh, that's what this is from. Some of those like little one-liners.
Was it a comedy?
It's a horror comedy. It's kind of like that bridging of the gap because it's like really honestly, you have to watch it to understand.
What
it's
is like scary movie? Like funny
no,
comedy?
no, like I'd say pull up the trailer.
Oh shit! Here we
Since
go.
we're so far off the rails at this point.
This is why we need Steve. Tight 45, guys. This is why we need Steve in our life. What is this?
Oh,
what is
we're
the movie?
so screwed.
What
Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness.
This is okay with me. Frankly, the less we talk about hockey, the better off that I personally am today. So.
Oh shit.
Oh boy. All right.
All
Here
right.
we go. We got a trailer.
Okay, let's do it.
We got a trailer. We're gonna watch a trailer now. Hang on. Stay with us, folks.
An age of darkness.
Hold on. Let's go back to the beginning here. Make sure the volume's down so we don't blow out people's stereos.
In an age of darkness.
May God have mercy upon your souls. Something's wrong. Something's amiss.
And a time of evil.
You shall die!
When the world needed a hero.
The swallow our souls. I'm about to die!
What it got was him.
Groovy. You know your shoelace is untied.
He's a 20th century guy.
For that arrogance, I shall see you dead.
Trapped in the Middle Ages.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. This is my boomstick.
Now, let's talk about how I get back home.
Foretold by a mystical book.
Within its pages are passages that can send you back to your time.
Forewarned by a wise man.
You must recite the words Klaatu, Berata, Niktu.
I got it.
Fulfilled by a wise guy.
Klaatu.
Yeah.
Army of Darkness.
You found me beautiful once.
Honey, you got real ugly.
Comes Army of Darkness. They live. They breathe. They suck. Army of Darkness.
Ooh. Ooh.
See, that reminds me because what's that guy's name again? Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell.
Since we're on the subject of awful things that I enjoyed, that he had a TV show, Briscoe County Jr., that I fucking dug. That was funny. I thought it was funny. But when I was that age, I think if I look back at it now, I'm like, what the fuck was I even laughing at? But I admit to enjoying.
Oh no!
I think
that reminded me a little bit of like Rob. We lost me.
Is Tom losing his internet, or am I losing my internet?
You're back.
I hope I'm back. Am I back?
Tom's back. Tom's back. We're good. We're good.
I said it reminded me a little bit of Robin Hood Men in Tights a little bit.
It's got that feel. It's got that feel. It's low budget. It's lower budget for sure, which is you can definitely see from the movie and the animation. But it's a very funny movie. Anyway, so let's get back to the actual schedule here since Steve's not here. What was our first point of the agenda? Oh man, Tom is frozen again. Oh shit. We're doing so good tonight. We're at about 1,000.
This is gonna have to be like one of our lost episodes or something like that. This episode never made it to air, but we're gonna give you some highlights from
Holy
this shit show from
balls.
November 2022 when nobody had internet.
Oh
I
no!
got-
Oh, he's back. He's back.
I got a message about my internet too. My internet, I just got a message is unstable.
Maybe the world's internet is unstable right now. Maybe that's just what it is.
Well, if mine cuts out, I'm not coming back. I'll just end our misery. All right. So
All right, let's we've been talking about movies for far too long. Type 45. Let's we had the shitty call of the week. Let's go to our fantasy. Billy, our fantasy.
Yes.
Oh no, wait, well, no, our hockey fantasy. We had a trade today. Unbelievable.
We did. We made a trade.
Who thought you could trade teams?
Well, we make up the rules as we go.
Team.
Well, Bill, why don't you announce the trade to everybody?
Yes, I have traded the entire Pittsburgh Penguins to Tom for the Ottawa Senators because I decided that I didn't want the Penguins to ruin my life, my personal life, and also ruin me in this bet. So I decided to trade away the Penguins so that I don't have to sit there and watch them lose, and then also have in the back of my mind, they're just not getting any fucking points for this bet. And I'm thinking that the Penguins are going to have less points than anybody in the league from now going forward. So I don't think I made a bad bet.
I don't know, Bill. Listen, and this is definitely a callback. The first thing I thought of when you tried to get rid of the Penguins was, oh my God, he had Robinson Cano that 1 year in fantasy, and Robinson Cano lit up the fucking world after he let him go. I have to jump on this. So I
dumped Robinson Cano.
I was very happy to get rid of the Ottawa Senators. I was actually going to see if anybody wanted to trade for them. And then you came knocking. So I hope I ride the coattails of the Pittsburgh Penguins all the way out of the basement, where I currently reside at 93 points. But I do have a lot of games in hand. Well, not actually, it's only 3 now. Jesus Christ. So, and if I did win all 3 of those games, I would be in a tie with Bill out of the Chateau Bow Wow.
Nick's lead is just growing and growing by the week. Because Vegas and Boston never lose. I mean, Vegas and Boston are going to have 73 wins each, apparently.
Yeah, I can certainly see that. Those two teams, Jesus Christ, this fantasy thing sucks. I hate it.
Whose idea was this? This is the dumbest fucking thing.
It's probably fucking Steve's idea. What a jackass.
Look,
Speak up, whoever had this idea.
Well, whoever had this idea is not allowed on the podcast this week.
That's the penalty. Yeah,
it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Right. I'm getting lucky right now with Seattle Kraken having I picked them 28th
because they keep playing the Penguins. I mean, how many times do the Kraken play the fucking Penguins, and they're going to win every time?
Shit. Well, we'll see.
Right. Listen. The Edmonton Oilers are playing their 13th game tonight. Connor McDavid scored his 13th goal of the season. Is it possible? Could he possibly do a 50-50? And look, we've talked ad nauseum about, anybody getting 50 goals is a stretch. But is Connor McDavid just a step above everybody else that he can be considered for a 50-50?
Why not? It could happen. It's going to happen eventually. It just, we're hitting that point where like certain guys are just getting the offense is going up in the league over time. And he's the kind of guy. He's like one of those few guys that could do it. Stays healthy for 50 games, and he's got Draisaitl. He's on the power play. Obviously, they can score a lot of goals, man. If anybody can do it,
thinks he can score 50-50.
Oh, my dog can't figure out how to get around a fence. Hold on.
I think if anybody is capable of doing it right now, I mean, the list is really short. McDavid and maybe Matthews. Not that Matthews is on that pace this season at this point, but that's the kind of talent it takes. And if McDavid could stay healthy and it's possible. Where I come in, I'm not going to bet somebody's going to have 50 plus goals anyway. I'm a bit pessimistic when it comes to it, and it's a little bit early to call it. But does he have a chance? Sure. He's got talent at that level.
Yes, he has talent at that level, and I think it's so far above anybody else in this league. Maybe so far is a stretch, but what he can do with passing, with shooting, he's an incredible talent. He's an incredible talent. Unbelievable. I really
speed.
I really hope we see it.
At the speed he can do everything. He can do everything faster than everybody else. That's just, you watch him do it and you're just like, yeah, everyone's in slow motion around him when he's doing this fucking moves around everybody.
He's just zipping through the Rangers defense.
Crazy.
Yep. Ugh. Yeah, thanks to Steve for sending that video.
Reminder.
1 year anniversary of this goal. Dick. All right. Let's take a ride on the Metro. Sponsored by Nestle Quick.
Hello, boys and girls. Do you hate the taste of regular milk and need energy? Try Nestle Quick. One sip and you can feel the energy in your muscles. Nestle Quick, now available in chocolate and strawberry.
They say the real men drink pink. Then I'm a real man for sure. But if you like the brown, I still love you for who you are. Because it's time for acceptance of everyone, all preference. We're all quick on the inside anyway. Nestle Quick, it does the trick.
Bill, 2 weeks in a row.
Another week and no wins to report for the Penguins. This is going to be short. This is going to keep us toward our type 45. What am I going to say? So this week they had a lead in every game they played, but they can't play in any third period. Not to mention the second half of the second period. I mean, it's like they've come up with solid starts and then they fade away. So 3-goal lead blown against Boston, 2-goal lead blown against Buffalo, 1-goal lead blown against Seattle. And it all adds up to a 0-3 or a 0-2-1 week. And they haven't won since October 22nd against Columbus. So the wheels are off. It's over. I've said it a bunch of times. The end's not going to be pretty, and the end's not pretty. The Penguins just said the problem really truly is that they're old. I mean, you look at this team, they've got enough offense that, they're not as bad as a team on a 7-game losing streak. They're not as bad as they look right now. They're not as good as they looked when they started the season 4-0-1. They've got some talent. They're going to land somewhere in between the two, but where they land in between the two is not going to be in playoff contention. They're an old, slow team. They do come up with enough offense. Offense isn't going to be the problem. They've got enough talent there. But you look at this team in the defensive zone, chasing people around, reaching in, not moving their feet. It's not like they don't know how to play defense. I think it's just an aging team. You just never want to be the oldest team in the league, which they've become. And they're chasing people around and they can't catch up. Chris Letang is a disaster this season. Brian Dumoulin's a disaster this season. And those are their top defensive pairing, their quote unquote top defensive pairing. And they're getting ripped out there. And it's not just the defense. The goaltending stinks. Jari is not anywhere near the form he was at the start of the last season when he became an all-star. Like Jari has been, when he's been hot, they've really leveraged that in the past. Like they really used him to kind of stay above water in the early part of last season before the team really started to gel. They're not getting that now. He's not good. DeSmith is not good in the net, but it's not all on the goaltenders. It's the defensemen and it's the team defense. It's not just the defensemen playing defense. It's the forwards in the defensive zone or too slow, too old, look bad, nothing's going right. So that's what's going on in Pittsburgh.
All right, I got a couple of things for you. All right, so they're also missing Carter, so they're missing depth at the forward. Gensel's back, right? Or is he back?
Yep. Teddy
Okay.
Bluger, we don't know where the hell he is because he was
every time I turn around on Twitter, he's skating, he feels great, and
he never gets back in. And to be fair, if there's any kind of heart and soul guy on the team, even though he's a fourth line guy, I mean, he is that kind of player, and they don't have that energy there. They don't have him on the penalty kill. So for many reasons, they do miss him more than might be advertised. Wouldn't be saving them from a 7-game losing streak, but
I think they miss Jeff Carter a lot too, because he's just a depth guy. He adds a lot of depth to your team for sure. And he was back at practice. So you might even have Bluger and Carter back when they play the Capitals on the 9th. And look, then they go up to Toronto and finally Hockey Night in Canada in Montreal on Saturday night. So it's not an easy week by any stretch of the imagination coming up. But if they continue this style of play, is this can Sullivan be a casualty of all this? It's really premature and early to even talk about that, but could he?
I hope not, because he's a great coach, and it's when the Penguins have been going right during his time as a coach, it's not because they're outscoring it. Well, obviously they're outscoring everybody, but what I mean to say is it's not because like just the sheer firepower of the offense. It's their attention to detail on defense is what really puts them over the top when they've had their Stanley Cup runs, when they've had dominant winning streaks, or just making the playoffs year after year. There's always some stretch where the defense is playing extremely well in front of the goaltender. They haven't always had great all-star goaltending. Sometimes it's just average to a little bit above average goaltending, and that's enough because they're playing such good defense in front of them. That's always been the key to the Penguins being really successful. And to be able to get the team working in the system on the same page, the way Sullivan's done it year after year, I love the guy. I give him a huge amount of credit. And I think it's, like I said, I think it's an old team that's just not keeping up. And I hope that doesn't reflect back on Sullivan, but I don't, at the same time, have a whole lot of confidence in the general management and what their decisions are going to be. I hope Mario's more steering the ship there than Mr. Hextall or Mr. Burke. So
boy, I'm glad you said that, not me. Woo. All right, let's turn it over to the Rangers. And Rangers had a
please.
I'll put you out of your misery for a little while, Bill. And look, the Rangers had, a kind of a so-so week. Yeah, 3 out of a possible 6 points against the Flyers, the Bruins, and the Red Wings. And look, in that Philly game, the Rangers dominated that game. They just couldn't put the fucking puck in the net. Last year they got such good puck luck last year. And Chris Kreider, and I think this is the second week in a row I'm talking about this, is he had such good puck luck. His deflections were on point. Everything just kind of, the stars aligned for him last year, and everything that he touched just turned to gold. And this year, not so much. He's really struggling. Listen, he had 7 shots on goal in that game, and he got the OT game winner on a breakaway where everybody was just dead tired by that point. Rangers had 36 shots on goal to Philadelphia's 19. Igor was, solid when he had to be. He wasn't tested all that much with 19 shots on goal. You can't be. And I think their power play has gone a little cold, a little stagnant. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit later on. But I think they're trying to feed Panarin the puck too much. They need to just take what you have and don't feed that just one guy. And when we're going to talk a little bit later on about Lafreniere and where he fits on that line with Trocheck and Panarin, and he's more of that defer guy, defer to the guys who have been here or getting paid more money as opposed to you. But we'll get to that. I've been blasting Fox and Lindgren for the past couple of weeks. Adam Fox, I think, is on his way back to being that elite defenseman. You can see it in the 3 games that he played this week against Philly, Boston, and Detroit. He's much better, more assertive with the puck. The better defensive zones and the outlet passes have been so much better. Actually, Fox and Lindgren in that Philly game, they were just solid and great. You hope to carry some of that good play over between games, but that didn't happen against Boston. It was a very physical game, especially early on, and you lose Lindgren very early in the game when he shouldered Pasternak along the boards, and Pasternak went down, got hit hard, and then he went back at Lindgren and kind of shouldered him back. And I think somewhere in there he had something. It has to be his shoulder, because he never hit his head. There was no head injury at all, or even he didn't have his head touched. So I don't think it's so much a concussion. I don't know. Can you get a concussion without getting hit in the head? I don't know. By just getting a body jar, maybe you
whiplash.
could.
If you get a good whiplash,
whiplash,
you can,
right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's something in there. He skated on his own today, but he didn't play a lot in that Boston game. And boy, oh boy, did it show. Boston dominated the play in the first period. Rangers came out and dominated the play in the second period. But then, things kind of changed when Trouba couldn't out position Charlie Coyle on the far post on his goal early in the third period to put Boston up, to put them up 2-1. Yeah. Before Fox tied it at 2. Trouba just couldn't handle him. He had proper position, but Coyle just kind of out muscled him. And that's getting kind of, I don't know, we're seeing a lot of that. Trouba's not having a good year. He may have had a good start to the year, but he's certainly fallen off the past 3 weeks. So it seems to be an adjusting from a Fox Lindgren thing, maybe now to a Trouba Miller thing. But after Fox tied it, Boston scores 3 unanswered goals in a very physical game. And the shots on goal are getting to be a little bit of a problem, especially against good teams, right? First period shot total was 5, third period shot total 4. And they were awful on faceoffs in that Boston game. And we have certainly talked about that with the Rangers for the past 2 years, is shots on goal and their faceoff percentages, and how much they are important to the Rangers. But then you get a game against Detroit on Sunday, where the Rangers come out and take an early 2-goal lead, and just completely, I watched the replay of the game because I was out a lot on yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to watch the game live. But Kakko shooting the puck early on, and Zibanejad on the power play. 6 of Mika Zibanejad's 7 goals this year have been on the power play. So he's this year's Chris Kreider, perhaps, and he's in second place on the power play, behind only Connor McDavid. I can't even read my freaking own handwriting. So Gallant demotes Kreider to the 4th line in the game because he deserved it. And you know what? He wasn't the only one who kind of deserved to be, demoted down to the 4th line. Halak, as much as I've given him shit all season, he played a really, really strong game. And none of the goals were kind of his fault. It was, one was a deflection in front. You can't really do much about that. And the other 2 were on the defenseman. So, and something seems to have to change. And this was shown in practice today with some line shakeups where they're going to put Panarin with Zibanejad. They're going to put Kreider with Hedl. I'd rather have Kreider with Trocheck, but they're going to put Kreider with Hedl, and kind of split that up a little bit. Keep Kakko with Panarin and Zibanejad, because again, Kakko just needs to shoot the puck. But they're going to put Lafreniere back on the left side, with Trocheck and Vesey, and we're going to see how that goes. I think it's a really good move for them to do that, because Lafreniere is not going to defer to Panarin anymore. Lafreniere is going to be the main wing on that line, and it's so evident when the kid line is together, when Hedl, Kakko, and Lafreniere are together. Why do they score so much? It's Lafreniere controlling the play. So they got to give Lafreniere the opportunity on his own line to be the guy. I think when he plays with Kreider and Zibanejad, he defers to them. When he plays Panarin and Trocheck, he's deferring to them. When he's on his own line and taking charge, I think really good things are going to happen out of this. But what happens after that, I don't know. If they can't right the ship, what is in their favor is the schedule. And upcoming this week, they got a really tough game against the Islanders tomorrow night. It's in the Garden, but the Islanders are coming off of a win, lose, tie tonight. What are they doing?
Overtime win.
Oh my God, an overtime win. They came back with the third period. So the Islanders will be ready to play, maybe hopefully a little tired. That'd be great. And then they're on the road for the next 6 out of 7. You got stints in Detroit and in Nashville, and then you come home next Sunday against Arizona before your West Coast trip. This is the time now where the Rangers can actually make a move in the standings and gain some points, because you have Seattle, San Jose, the Kings, the Ducks. All of these teams are very, very beatable. So you just have to make sure you play assertive, you play fast, and you just play well in those games, and you should win those games. So it's going to be a really tough week this week, but if they right the ship and they get things back on track, and look, there's no more perfect game to do that than tomorrow night against the Islanders. Give yourself some good feelings against your rival, and then go kill everybody else. That should be a good transition for you, Nick.
I think that's a great transition. If that happens tomorrow, that'd be big for them. I was thinking, as the game tonight, the Isles were playing Calgary at home. Going to the third period, it was 3-1 Calgary, and Calgary was really outplaying the Isles, specifically in the first period. And then the second period kind of, got a little more even, but nevertheless, Calgary extended their lead and it became 3-1. But that third period, Isles completely changed the game, turned around and tied it up. Had a couple shots. They had a lot of opportunities in the third period. They should have won that game in regulation, but they won in overtime. And let's get back to the weekend review. So this was actually a road trip week for the Isles. We had a game in Chicago, the Blue in St. Louis, and then Detroit, and went 2-1 last week. Not too bad. Chicago game, we talked a little bit about that earlier in our shitty call of the week, with Cizikas getting thrown out of the game and like I think it was like the second shift of the game. It was really early in the game. But knocked out the goaltender, obviously. But Isles outplayed Chicago the whole game, but could not really get a sizable lead. It was a 2-goal lead going into, if I remember correctly, the third period. And then Chicago scored, and then it was a 2-1 game, and it was way closer than it should have been just on the scoreboard. Especially with Chicago not having Seth Jones there, their top defenseman. But they were able to close that one out, get the win. And then next night they played the Blues, where they had a 4-goal second period and just completely, poured it on in a tie game, and then basically won 5-2 in a game that they just completely dominated one period, and couldn't. St. Louis was out of it at that point. You're down 4 goals going to the third period. It's pretty rough. Not a lot to say about that other than Sorokin basically kept that game a not close game. He had a number of big saves in that game. His lateral movement is ridiculous, and his ability to go into a complete split is at the speed he does it at is ridiculous. I hope he can keep that same flexibility and speed and power that he has, because he's a monster when he's healthy right now, and he's been great. Seeing him to do things he's been doing definitely keeps the Isles in games when he's able to make those kind of plays. And lastly, they ended up losing 3-0 to Detroit. They got shut out for the first time this year, but it was one of those games that I felt like Varley was in net. He didn't play poorly, but I was going to say Detroit goalie Husso, he played really well. Shut out the Isles. They outshot the Isles. They outplayed them, but it doesn't take away from the goalie having a shutout. The Isles definitely had some quality chances, and they just outplayed. Maybe it was a little low on the energy going to the last game of the road trip, minor road trip. And again, they responded tonight with a 4-3 victory. But the interesting thing that we've been seeing is again, third period, just come from behind victory. They did against Colorado at home, and they did tonight against Calgary. And man, it night and day. I was having a hard time paying attention. It's a little bit of our banter earlier because I was like trying to watch the game, and they just fucking came out like completely different team. It's kind of weird to see them do that, but I'd rather them do it in the third period than any other period, I guess. You want to see them finish strong, so that's been going well from a player perspective. I like what I've been seeing from Wahlstrom. Yeah, and same with Barzal. They haven't really been lighting up the points and everything, but specifically Barzal's got, I think tonight he had maybe 1 or 2 assists, so he's probably in like 11 or 12 or 13 maybe assists on the year. 0 goals though. He hasn't scored yet. He has been all over the ice though. He's been very much active and setting players up, but he hasn't been scoring. He hasn't had a single goal yet. And he has a lot of shots. He's not like he hasn't shot the puck, so it's going to get that counter of shots without a goal. He's going to be leading that pretty soon, if not already. And then Wahlstrom's been, even though he hasn't been scoring, his skating and his ability to get into, disrupting the play and basically just extending the play and doing things that he should be doing. That's just all starting to click. And I think with that type of play he's been showing night to night, I think the goals will start to come a little more. So I'm happy to see that. And then lastly, Sebastian Aho has been playing pretty well. He had a goal tonight. They had Robin Salos. They ended up Isles ended up having him go back down to Bridgeport just to get some conditioning, get some games in. Because I guess they liked what they've been seeing from Aho, so they wanted to, Salo hadn't been playing for a couple of games, so they said, you know what, let's send him back down. Since he's still on 2A, he can do that. So with that said, and obviously Sorokin playing phenomenally. Dobson's been playing great. He had the game winner tonight on a power play goal in OT. Just rocket of a slap shot. And can't complain right now. Isles playing pretty well. Looking to hopefully have a nice game tomorrow. A less friendly game against the Rangers in enemy territory. That's going to be the second game this week. With 2 more games with Arizona and Columbus. To round out the end of the week. It's 4 games in 6 nights kind of week with another game Tuesday. So they got a lot going on. This is
it's Monday. It's
Monday. I'm sorry,
Tuesday,
Monday.
But listen,
Monday.
the schedule says that game on Monday against Ottawa is at 5:30 p.m.
That's a fucking wild game. What is that day? There's not. It's not like a.
I was about to ask
you. What is going on?
I don't know.
Wait, hold on. What is? That's Monday the 14th.
It's Monday the 14th. Is that like a holiday in Canada?
Maybe
it's a holiday in Canada.
Holiday?
Canadian holiday 11/14.
Children, National Pickle Day, World Diabetes Day.
Well, that's why. Okay, there we go. We figured it out. National Pickle Day. That's it. All right, good. That's why the game's at 5:30. Is that the official? Is that like maybe it's just an error on the website?
I don't know, man. Sometimes they have weird games. It could just be that it's one of those things. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll find out. I can't even. 5:30 doesn't make any sense. Eastern.
It makes no sense, and they're in the same fucking time zone we are. I don't know.
Is November 11?
No, it's the 4/14.
Remembrance Day.
11/14, 11/14.
Couldn't tell you.
No, you got nothing. All right.
Nothing.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that, and hopefully we'll figure it out next week.
Slightly different recap for the Devils this week, as I'm recording this separate from the guys. The Devils are 9-1 in their last 10, tops in the Metro. 5-2 win against the Canucks, a game that they should have won, and they did win. Slow first period from the team, from everyone not named Blackwood. Blackwood was able to keep the Canucks off the board. And in the second and third period, the team woke up, catapulting them to the 5-2 win. Jack had a goal and an assist in his showdown against Quinn. One thing to note is both of the Canucks goals were scored on the power play. So the team definitely needs to stay out of the box long term for success. The second game of the week was a 4-3 thrilling come from behind win versus the Oilers. They had a terrible second period. Lucky that they were only down 3-1 after the second period. Lindy changed the lines up a little in the third, had Hughes centering Sharangovich and Mercer, Walla centering Wood and Zetterlund, and McLeod centering Boquist and Bastian. Boquist eventually was actually catapulted up to the first line with Bratton and Heischer and played pretty well alongside them. The game-tying goals and game-winning goal were scored 7 seconds apart. Fastest 2 goals in Devils franchise history. One thing to note, Blackwood did get injured during the game. Turns out he's got a mild MCL sprain and he's going to be out. The current estimate is 3 to 6 weeks. I would bet it's going to be closer to the 6 weeks. Beneček gave up a goal on his first shot, which was a little unsettling, but he did then go on to stop 18 of 18. This game also saw Jesper Bratt extend his point streak to the first 11 games, which is a franchise record, which was nice. Last game of the week was a 4-3 overtime win against a very sound Calgary Flames team. I think that's what we're calling them. Zetterlund filling in admirably for Palat on the first line. He had 2 goals, including game winner in overtime. There was a span in the second period where they killed off 4 straight shorthanded minutes, which included, I think 30 to 45 seconds of a 5-on-3, which was nice. The BMW line keeps rolling. That one was for Bill. I know he loves when lines are named. So that's Bastian, McLeod, and Wood. All 3 have points in 4 straight. Wood has actually got 7 points in the last 4 games. It's also nice to see Siegenthaler settling in in his lockdown role on defense. He played very well against Lindholm and Huberdeau, as well as against Draisaitl in the game before. This was the first time the Devils swept the Western Canada trip in 26 years, which is good because they're actually in a stretch of 10 of 11 games against Canadian teams. This coming week, they got Calgary tonight, which is Tuesday night. It's not a true home and home since Calgary played out on the island last night. They lost in overtime. And then to wrap the week up, they've got Ottawa at home on Thursday and Arizona at home on Saturday. So that was your Devils recap for this week. Again, just a reminder, 9-1 in the last 10, 9-3 overall in the season, tops in the Metro.
And now it's time for Trivia with Bill. Rahoo!
Now this is the wrong Bill.
Oh my God. Can you do all of my intros? All right.
I figured you were going
Today's
through enough.
question is, what a dullard of a question this is. How thick is the ice in an NHL arena?
Real thick,
actually. It's not really that thick. I don't think that's one of the. I don't think that's
what you're saying.
I don't think that's one of the answers.
No, they want like an answer like, and it's in inches. I could tell you that the answer is in inches if you want. If they're not using the metric system.
Man,
I'm gonna say 69 centimeters.
I love the 69. That's hot, but it's not in centimeters, and it's also incorrect.
4 feet.
4 feet. No, that'd be pretty thick ice, actually. No, it's not 4 feet. It's thinner. I'm gonna venture to tell you that it's lower. I know we're not doing high-low just yet, but it is lower. I have
Is
multiple
it
choices.
2 yards.
Ooh.
2 yards. 2 yards. So 2 yards is actually more than the 4 feet that Tom just guessed, and I'm saying
No, it's not.
It's smaller. It's less than that.
In honor of Connor McDavid, I'm going to say 97 millimeters.
87 millimeters, which, gosh, is
I have no idea. What's the conversion?
Almost a centimeter.
3.81
It's almost a
inches.
centimeter, but
it's 3.81 inches. Wow.
No, it's not. No, that's incorrect. It's a nice.
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna go standard issue 6 inches.
You wish.
Well, standard
6
issue.
Inches. 6 inches is that's still a bit thick. We're still thinking a little bit too thick.
We are
too thick and too girthy. We need a. This is shorter.
Half an inch.
Ooh,
half an inch. That's the first guess. That's kind of in the neighborhood. It is incorrect. It is incorrect. But
6 inches is not in the neighborhood.
You were close. No, 6 inches is not in the neighborhood.
My God, it's not like I was going to say like friggin' like 2 inches. It's not like I was going to say that.
Yeah,
2 inches is incorrect.
Yeah,
I didn't say 2 inches, Bill. It said it's not
since it was incorrect, I just went with it anyway and just wanted to tell you it was incorrect, so that you wouldn't then guess 2 inches.
About 4.5 inches.
Also incorrect. So you want me to go high-low now?
No, not yet. I'm gonna say 3 inches and 1/16.
That is incorrect. No, that is incorrect. Very close to the to what is A on the multiple choice, though. Although that's also incorrect. So.
All right. 2 inches.
Incorrect.
Are we in the realm
I think
of?
we already established that 2 inches was incorrect because Tom.
But no, I didn't actually guess 2 inches, Bill.
But then I went and told you that it was incorrect.
No, it was not an official guess.
I know, but then I said 2 inches is not correct.
Because it wasn't an official guess. You can't say it was wrong.
But I said it was wrong, and Nick still guessed it a minute later.
Christ almighty.
Because he's not paying attention. Because this is a stupid
I'm
question.
trying to think of dumb answers, Bill. Okay. 2 ice cubes. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. All right.
2 ice cubes. What does that equal? Like an inch?
It's at least an inch. All right. Give us the multiple choice, Bill.
Yeah, what are the multiple choice? Come on.
A, 3 inches. B, 3/4 of an inch.
Ooh.
C, 1/8 of an inch. D, 1/2 inch, which was a guess, which is incorrect.
Right, and you said it was close. So I'm gonna say 1/8 of an inch.
Incorrect.
I'm gonna go 3/4 of an inch, and this
3/4 is correct. 3/4. There you go.
3/4 inch killer. Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
Is it really 3/4 of an inch? Honestly, I thought it was 4 inches.
I thought it was thicker. I actually thought it was thicker too, because like you see those guys, those maintenance guys going and dig the thing for the net posts. I feel like they're sticking their tools way further down in there than that.
It seemed like
it's only 3/4 of an inch thick.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Cool.
I'll be damned. I'll be damned. And now it's time for impressions with Nick.
Fucking great. Ladies and gentlemen of the Friends of Rollins podcast, get ready for the fastest 2 minutes of this Type 45 show. It's a 20 questions power play. The rules are simple. The group of 2 minutes to guess a famous player, coach, front office, or any famous player associated with one of the 4 Friends of Rivals' favorite teams. The group can ask up to 20 questions in rapid fire, while our host Nick likely fails horribly at answering and keeping track of all the questions asked. Answers will only come in the form of a yes or no. The group will have a final guess once they have hit 20 questions where the power play has expired. If the group is successful, a win for the week and avoid shame for unable to win a children's game. And away we go.
All right. Now, if we happen to say this
All right,
an answer at
I'm
the
gonna
same
listen.
time, we will make
I'm gonna
sure
listen.
to repeat
Please,
ourselves,
repeat.
especially since you did not come shaven this week like you said you were going to.
Understood. That is my fault.
All right. We
All right,
ready?
you guys ready?
Yeah, Bill, you can ask the first question.
Okay. Is it Adam Graves?
No.
Okay.
Hit the start button.
Oh God, no. Okay.
All right. We start.
Person, a member of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yes.
Yes or no? Jesus fucking Christ.
Is it a shitty member of the shitty Penguins currently?
No.
Was he part of the Penguins Stanley Cup champion teams?
Yes.
Is he a let's go, sorry, Bill.
Is it a forward?
Yes.
Is this person a TV analyst?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Or
I'm
a
not
studio,
gonna remember.
We're gonna go
Is it
no.
Max Talbot?
No.
Oh, I was thinking a little further back than that, Bill. I was thinking wait, was it Ron Francis?
No.
Was it a 90s Stanley Cup player?
No.
Okay, good.
Okay, so we're
all right, good.
We're in 09 or 16.
All right, good. Shit. Was it Bill Guerin?
You got it.
Whoa!
Yeah, nice. Very nice.
Good job. There you go. I thought I'd get you guys with Bill Guerin because he played in
It's
three of
a
the
power
teams.
play goal.
We're all winners, but
Wow. I feel great now. Thank you.
I'm gonna be honest. I
good
had
job.
that name in the back. That name was gonna come up as one of my guesses when the later era.
Fun fact about Bill Guerin, he played for the
Tom got it.
Penguins. He played for the Penguins. He played for the Devils for a long time, and he played for the Isles. So it was a kind of a. I was hoping you'd guess. You'd say like, did he play for the Islanders or Devils? Yeah, Islanders do play for a little bit. Penguins is kind of like he only played for the Cup team really. So, but good job. Well done.
I thought you were going maybe like Rick Tocchet or somebody from the '90s team, because I said analyst. I meant to say like studio host. So
yeah, I didn't think he was. I think Guerin. He's a front office. He's a
GM of the Wild.
GM now. Yeah,
GM of the Wild. GM. Yeah,
that's right.
One who he traded Talbot. Oh God, it's hilarious. All right, let's go to this date in Steve's stomach.
Oh, that feels better.
Brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar.
Right here, we're saving calories. Round here, we all look so lean. Round here, we enjoy Coke Zero, but sacrifice flavor, no. Round here, Coke Zero's the way to go.
All right, Steve has sent me the day, so I can let y'all know. We're gonna go to the year of our Lord 2009. 2009. And we're gonna go to July 17th of 2009. Steve enjoyed an Arby's roast beef with curly fries and a medium soda. So I'm guessing because he wrote soda and it was a Pepsi.
Gotta be lunch, right? It's no breakfast.
They had friends over and had leftover pasta, and he has written on the bottom something about the Long Island Ducks. Did they play They don't play hockey. That's baseball, right?
That's
Long Island Ducks.
Yeah, Somerset. They were in the Somerset Patriots League. Yeah.
Maybe
in that Atlantic League.
Maybe maybe he went to the Somerset Patriots game against the Long Island Ducks. I don't know. But why did I select that day? I'll tell you why. God damn it!
Why, Tom? Why?
Well, listen. Everybody knows the story of Dieter Braun, right? This German guy.
Who?
Braun was arrested for shouting at trees while being naked. Shouting at trees while being naked.
Wow.
Is that what they're calling them now? Trees?
Yeah, that's what they're. Braun maintained that he was simply employing a stress release technique when he was found standing naked and screaming at trees. Apparently, his marriage counselor had suggested he try this curious technique as a form of relaxation therapy.
Wow.
Braun had found that method worked with the breeze on his naked skin calming him down. However, members of the public near the forest in which Braun practiced this therapy did not appreciate the positive effects of the outcome. Neither did police, who arrested Braun for being a public nuisance.
Public nude?
I can see it.
No, not a nude sense, just a nuisance. Nuisance. I mean, that's it. That's all. What are the fines for being a public nuisance? Because I wouldn't mind trying this. I mean, might have to tell my neighbors to be on the lookout.
Dude, there's gators in Florida. You don't want to just have your junk out and just.
Well, listen, not in my back. There's no gators in my backyard that I know of. All right. Well, listen, I live there's a conservation behind me in wetlands, and there's sometimes where I'm swimming at night and we're having fun, and it's 9:30, and you hear these animals scream like they're being eaten. It is horrifying.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is great, but it is horrifying sometimes.
It's not because the animals saw you naked.
Well, no, I said, I wasn't yelling at trees at 9:30 at night. I was in the pool. I wasn't skinny dipping. I had my bathing suit on.
Right.
So you've been there.
Well, clothes, yes. Let's be careful.
Oh, okay. We don't want to talk about that other time. Okay, I got you. No problem. Steve, what do you think? Yeah, that's great.
Always good with that clever comeback. Steve is quick.
So good.
Love that guy.
Let's see if anybody reviewed us tonight.
I don't think they'll be reviewing this week's. That's for sure.
Nope. Why? Best episode ever? What are you talking about? We did not have to hear about the
I suck.
Fucking Devil's fucking Western Canada swing. Are you kidding me? Best
we didn't even
ever.
We didn't even leave him a space to throw that in. You didn't throw it over to him.
We're already over an hour just with us. Fucking great.
He's just gonna have to shove it in somewhere.
Good luck, bro.
Poor guy. He didn't ask for shitty internet.
No, he did not. All right, that's gonna do it for us for this week. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at friends_rivals, Facebook Friends and Rivals Podcast, YouTube same handle. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We will read them on the air if you want us to. Turn on notifications for our podcast so you never miss an episode of the Friends and Rivals Podcast. Billy, go ahead and say something witty.
So appreciate that I can make this announcement right at the end of the podcast. Obviously, now that the Penguins suck and are gonna be awful all year, we know that we can no longer go ahead with the Friends and Rivals format as it is, talking hockey. So that's over. So join us next week. We're doing book club with Friends and Rivals. We're gonna go over the Stephen Wilson book, the limited edition of one. We're going to discuss. So, and everybody, look forward to that. Join us next week for book club.
Was there a movie? I don't read. Was there a movie? Did they make a movie?
You could watch a Porcupine Tree concert. That's sort of a movie.
Go shout out a tree naked and see if a book appears out of it.
It's even better. Billy, sing us out.
My friends and rivals, flyers fuck, flyers fuck, flyers fuck off. Flyers fuck, flyers fuck, flyers fuck off.
I miss Steve.
Yeah, it's too bad. Is this first episode without Steve?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think me and Billy missed an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom missed an episode.
Yeah, that's right. Tom did miss an episode.